morning, everyone. This is Katie Novotny calling from Premier Marketing. I am super excited to have you all joining us this morning to discuss short-term care options. As we know, we've seen a lot of changes in the past 5 to 10 years with these products, long-term care products, and even the hybrid products. The whole long-term care solution idea has just been evolving immensely. Today, I am thrilled to have GTL here with Greg Esposito, the Assistant Vice President of Sales, to go over the short-term care portfolio. As a reminder, as always, I welcome any questions that you may have as we go. Please feel free to type them in. We will address them as the presentation continues. And if there's anything at the end that we haven't handled, we will do it then. With no further ado, I'd like to introduce Greg. Greg, are you ready to take this away for us?
I'm ready to go, and thanks, Katie. Really appreciate it. And a big hello and thank you to everybody for tuning in today. Do appreciate your time. And we're going to have some fun today and show you 3 different products, and hopefully there'll be some great care solutions for your clients down the road. I always like to start off with a fun question that anybody who's been in the insurance business knows the answer to already. And it really doesn't matter if you've been in it, a couple months or for decades. You always know your clients are going to give you a holler when something's already happened to them. And then we all know, no matter what kind of product it is, it's just too late to apply when that something has already happened. And today I've kind of tailored the slide to what we're going to talk about, taking care of some out-of-pocket costs with regard to assisted living, nursing home, home health care costs. But it doesn't matter if your client can call you about needing cancer insurance after they've been diagnosed for cancer, or needing to take care of their out-of-pocket hospitalization costs when they find out they're going to go into the hospital. So if you've been in the business long enough, you know that the only way to help your clients with these out-of-pocket costs and future planning for those out-of-pocket costs is to just get in front of it and make sure that you bring it up before they bring it up to you. With regard to GTL, if you're not very familiar with us, we have been around for quite some time, since 1936. We're a mutual insurance company with an A- excellent AM Best rating and 0 debt on our balance sheets. Now, that's great to know with regard to what type of carrier you're with, what their rating is, how long they've been around. But realistically, what should I share with you about GTL? A couple things. We develop ancillary products that help clients with their out-of-pocket expenses when they either use their main insurance coverage, or if something specific happens, like being diagnosed with cancer, like needing home health care coverage, like needing some help if they're going into an assisted living facility or nursing home. That's what we do at GTL. Now, something that we're very well known for in the industry is being very efficient with regard to getting agents contracted quickly, processing business quickly, paying claims quickly, and never in our 85 years of business missing a commission payment to agents. So when it comes to those things, that's really what I'd like about GTL, and that's kind of my favorite things to talk about when it comes to Guaranty Trust. So 3 products that we'll touch on today: Recover Cash, Critical Care, and our short-term home health care plan. Now, whenever we create products across the board at GTL, we always try to create products that are unique and have bells and whistles that no other carrier has or has even thought of. And in a lot of cases, we do have carriers that look at our products and like to copy them, if you will. But in most instances, they leave out a lot of bells and whistles that the GTL products already have. So when you walk into a client's house, if you're talking about GTL's products, it's pretty safe to say that you are talking about the leader in that market space with the best bells and whistles for your client. With regard to helping clients get coverage, but help the agents actually bring it up, we like to create some things to help the agents do that. In other words, let's keep that cross sale down to a minimum in time, and let's make it easy for the client to understand what the product does, how to use it, and why they should have it. So we try to, depending upon the product, create certain things to help agents. Sometimes we create consumer videos or infographics. Some of our products actually have their own website. So keep that in mind. We're not only trying to create a client brochure, an application, and a rate guide for you. We're trying to make sure we create some other tools for you to help along the way. And when your clients are ready to rock and roll with regard to doing an application, for most products, we've got you covered with everything. A paper application, of course. We have a application that you can download onto your Apple or Android device. That's GTL eApp. And very prevalent right now, because of what's going on with the COVID crisis, our PC platform is extremely popular because that platform allows you to submit electronic applications to GTL without meeting with the client in person or needing a signature. So when you're looking at GTL, think of us as a great company with ancillary products, great ways for you to get business to us, and our eApp platforms are all designed to actually process the business as quickly as possible. We have some products, one of them that I'll cover today, our short-term home health care plan, that can be instantly issued in minutes. So you probably won't be off the phone with your client more than a couple of minutes, and that application will already be issued. So we've got you all covered at GTL. Great products, great company to work with, and great platforms for you to get business to us. First product we're going to talk about today is called Recover Cash, and the first thing I should let you know about it is this is an indemnity plan. So you can purchase this product without any requirement of having any other type of insurance. Of course, we won't want to just purchase this as an insurance plan, but I want to let you know that because it's important to know it's an indemnity plan so that any coverage I do talk about today, any benefits we talk about today, GTL will pay those to the clients regardless of any other insurance they have, regardless of any other co-pays that they have. We're not going to lower the benefits. We're just going to pay them the benefits they have coming. So that's all good to know. With regard to where Recover Cash is available, you can see in the teal colored states, that is the current footprint of the product. And we did, I believe, in 2018, get approval for Connecticut. Connecticut has a little bit different version. I'm going to go over that a little bit today after we go over the main basic version. Now, with regard to short-term care, there's a couple reasons why people look to this area to get some coverage. You know, if they're trying to get some long-term care insurance and they can't qualify for it, possibly because of a health reason, maybe it's just too expensive because they started looking a little bit too late in life for that type of coverage. So if that's a situation, it's good to know that we do have some other products that may help with those future expenses. Now, when we look at the data and some of the reasons why we created this product back in 2012, some of it was because we know that a lot of people would love to have a long-term care plan, but we also know that a lot of stays in the nursing home are not for a long time. You can see the stats on the left. But we do know also that if you do have a stay that could be up to a year, you could be talking about a big chunk of money, which you can kind of see the numbers on the right. So this is obviously not long-term care insurance, but boy, this can really help if you don't have a long-term care plan. Now, some of the highlights of the product, which we'll get into, we're going to pay these benefits directly to the client, so they can use them however they like. And again, that's good to know because, again, we're not coordinating, we're not lowering their benefits. So if they do have some other type of coverage, or if they're in a situation where they have something and their insurance is covering all of their costs and they have a Recover Cash product, we're still going to pay them the benefits they have coming to them. We do have a little bit of a discount set up. So if you're doing the spouse, that's a 10% discount when they're applying for coverage. And we also have a restoration feature on this product. Getting into the base plan, if you will, that's about assisted living and nursing home stays. Now, you can set this up and you can set it up in kind of increments that you like, starting from an issue age of 40 to 84. you can go as low as $50 per day, up to $300 per day, and you could choose in $10 increments. Now, one of the nice things about Recover Cash is it's going to pay these benefits regardless of the type of care that the client's receiving. So if they're in an LAF or a nursing home and they're getting custodial care, intermediate, or skilled care, they're getting their benefits from GTL. And depending upon the setup that you would like, you can have this start on day one, or you can have it start with after a 20-day elimination period. Good little highlight there on the screen. If you have a situation where a person goes in and they have the elimination period, they come back home, and then they go back in, there's not another elimination period. That elimination period is just a one-time event. And not only can you choose how much you'd like to get per day, but you can also choose for how long you'd like to have that. So that's really what the base plan is all about. You could choose a 30-day plan with 0-day elimination, $300 per day, or anything you can see there, 360 days of coverage up to $300 per day, which is about $108,000 in coverage. So when we start looking at how much are we paying for this plan and how much can my clients get, you can see that you can get a pretty big chunk of change just from the base plan itself. Now, there's also a home health care rider that's available. It's pretty inexpensive, and it's something that most of the applications we see coming into GTL do have the home health care rider on it. Now, you may want to think about that a little bit going forward, because when I start telling you about the short-term home health care plan, you're going to see that the benefits for that plan are much higher than what we currently have on the Recover Cash home health care rider. But as you can see, same issue age, 40 to 84, and you can choose $25, $50, or $75 per visit. Same choice with elimination period, and you can choose either 90 visits or 180 visits. Something important to know about the home health care rider, this is a rider, it does not restore. The base plan for assisted living and the nursing home care, that does have a restoration feature on it. However, the home health care does not. Just want to point that out. Now, what does it take to trigger the benefits? Very simple. Either getting a cognitive impairment, like early Alzheimer's, dementia, or the inability to do at least 2 ADLs. So it could be something as simple as, unfortunately falling and breaking your hip, and now you need, you need to get that care. You're not going to be able to do at least 2 of those ADLs, so this is going to kick in. So some of the things to point out about the coverage here. You don't have to have a hospital stay in order to start getting the Recover Cash benefits. So you don't have to have that 3-day consecutive hospital stay and then move to an ALF or nursing home in order to start getting these benefits. Remember, the only trigger for this is not being able to do 2 of the 6 ADLs or getting a cognitive impairment. Also, I mentioned it earlier, it's worth repeating, Recover Cash is going to pay no matter what type of care level you're receiving. And you can set this up for 360 days, which can be quite a long time. And, we don't know exactly what it's going to cost because, everybody lives in a different state. Nursing home costs, assisted living facility costs vary quite a bit by state. However, we do know that if you were able to get, say, $100,000 from your Recover Cash policy, that's going to take care of the costs for the year, if not make a huge substantial dent in them if it doesn't cover all of them. So pretty worthwhile to take a peek at this coverage. Now, I always just like to give you an idea of some sample rates. So I just did a couple here for you. This is a $200 per day benefit, a 90-day benefit period, 0 elimination period. And then we did a couple different rates here. We did a basic, which is what we just talked about today. And you can see for, 65-year-old, $33.85 a month. Now, you might be saying, what in the world is that simple and compound inflation rate, Greg? Well, there is a rider here, an inflation rider that's available. What I've seen, though, is the fact that most applications we get in, and by most, I mean a very, very high percentage, are buying the basic plan without the inflation rider and tending to try to get the coverage more towards the maximum than getting a smaller amount of coverage and adding the inflation rider. And I think just from taking a peek at the rate difference between the two, you can kind of see why agents are doing that and clients are choosing to do that. Now, one other thing I wanted to point out before we move along here, because I'm sure you've checked out the cost of adding the home healthcare rider. You can see adding the home healthcare rider, let's take the 65-year-old. We've went from $33.85 per month to $38.77 per month. So not even $5 a month to add the home healthcare rider, and that was a middle of the road $50 per visit, 90 visits. All right. So with regard to underwriting, there are some application questions. There's about 10 application questions. Yes.
Greg, we've got a couple questions coming in. First one is going to be, if a person lives in South Carolina and then moves to New Jersey, can they keep the policy?
Absolutely. Yeah, once you have the policy issued out of your resident state, as long as you continue to pay the premiums, you can do that. You just make sure that when you're purchasing the coverage that you are purchasing it out of your resident state. And, you know, I always get that, well, like if I have two houses, which one would it be? Well, when you file your tax returns, what you put down there as your main residence, that's going to be your resident state. What else you got, Katie?
The other question was going to be the official PowerPoint sales presentation on these products. Are those available? The GTL official presentation.
Yeah, the recordings of them, like today, will be, but my actual slides are not something that I can forward, unfortunately. This is just put together for agent use, and unfortunately in the past we have sent them and agents have turned them around, taken disclaimers off and all that good stuff and used them with clients, and so compliance doesn't allow me to forward slides anymore. Is that it?
Other than that, I think we've gotten most of it handled. Just in case, I know there's some questions that maybe other people are just not typing in, but regarding state availability charts, we will be sending those out as part of the follow-up, along with a copy of the presentation and the slides here. So those would be what I could tell anyone is there's just a recording of what we're doing today, along with the state availability charts of the states that are coming. Yeah.
It's great. And just so everybody knows, if you go to GTL's website, there's actually, you know, if you go down to the agent tab, you can see products. And when there's actually a link that you can click, and you can it brings up the map. You can click on your state and it shows which products are available where. So, you know, either way, you can always just double check if you have a quick question on which products are available. Again, the application is pretty simple and straightforward. It is a yes/no app, meaning if you have any yeses, you will not be able to get the coverage. And unisex rates, but you did notice when I quoted it, there were tobacco rates and non-tobacco rates. So that's good to know. Other additional underwriting going on behind the scenes, well, there's not much of it. It's an RX check on all applicants. And if you are applying at an age of 75 or older, we do a short PHI. It's not a full-blown cognitive, but agents do tell me that, you know, it's kind of a shorter one. And they tell their agents, you know, they tell their clients, you know, when GTL calls and you set up the time to do the PHI, you know, just make sure you're paying attention and have a good breakfast, and everything will work out fine. So it's not a full-blown cognitive, but they are going to ask some questions relating to that. With regard to this plan and submitting business, currently for the Recover Cash plan, basic plan that we're covering, we'll take a paper application that you can either mail or you can scan right into underwriting at und@gtlic.com, or you could just fax it in. you will be very surprised how quickly we process your business at GTL. I did mention that our electronic platforms can instantly underwrite the plan. However, even with paper applications being scanned to GTL and are emailed to us, you'll be surprised we're still getting these done in 1, 2, or 3 days. My favorite way to do it is to scan email right to und@gtlic.com. The reason I like that is you get an email back immediately saying that we received the information, so that's always good to know. Now, just to pivot for a second, because I did mention that we have this plan approved in Connecticut as of 2018. There are definitely some differences in the plan, and the best way for me to just tell you about those differences is just start off with the idea that it has what we just covered of the basic plan, but then also it has some extended coverage for adult daycare and hospice, and also the period that you can choose for the base plan is a little bit different. It has 100, 200, or 300 days as the options. So it doesn't break them down as much as the other one going 30, 60, 90, 180. It just is 100, 200, or 300. Now, brand new to Recover Cash in Connecticut is a prescription drug benefit rider. And basically, if your clients are taking prescriptions at the time of policy issue, they will be able to start getting paid from GTL for taking those prescriptions. So every time they go to Walgreens and refill a generic prescription, that's a $10 cash benefit to them. If it's a brand name prescription, that's a $25 benefit to them. And now with the Recover Cash RX benefit in Connecticut, that is going to be a maximum benefit of $300 per year. So you're going to find out more about the prescription drug benefit when we get into the short-term home health care plan. And so just want to let you know, in Connecticut, we do have the prescription drug benefit rider available. So this is just a quick look at the Indemnity base plan. So you've got the 40 to 84 issue age in Connecticut. You've got the $50 to $300 per day benefit, and you've got the 100, 200, and 300 days of maximum benefits there.
Greg, I've got a couple things coming in. Sorry.
Sure.
They're asking, does the rate increase over age, or is there any initial rate guarantee? So basically, how do the rates work initially? I think what they're alluding to is the short-term product versus this one.
Yeah, great question. So with Recover Cash, both the basic plan and in Connecticut, once you buy it, that is your rate. So the rates are stable with regard to that. We don't guarantee that they would never go up, but we've had this product since 2012. We've had no rate issues whatsoever. Kind of like our hospital indemnity plan that we've had since 2005. We don't guarantee the rates will never go up, but we've never touched them. So if rates are not increasing by now after how many years, then obviously we've got a product that is priced correctly and things look good. Now, if you're going to be using Connecticut Recover Cash or the other products that we're chatting about today, you should download GTL eApp onto your Apple or Android device. You can quote and submit e-applications through there. But again, however you want to get the business to us, that's great. You've got paper, you've got GTL eApp, and you've got the PC platform to do those e-applications if you're not meeting with the client in person. So a product that I wanted to touch on today, and Katie, maybe I should just stop. Do you have any more questions on Recover Cash right now?
I think we're good at this point.
Okay.
We're going to discuss. I do see some questions on the Connecticut product itself, but I know that we're going to handle that a little further down the road. So I think we're good for now.
Sounds good. I love it. I love playing Stump the GTL Sales Manager. It's great. Great. Okay, so Critical Cash. This is a plan that's been around, I would say, for an equal amount of time, right around the 2012 era, and it's kind of a totally different take on trying to help your clients that are looking for an LTC plan, but maybe they can't qualify for it due to some health issues that they've already had. So what this basically is it doesn't have the type of triggers that LTC or STC or even home health care products do with regard to not being able to do ADLs. It doesn't have any type of elimination periods or 90-day waits. It's basically if a certain event happens to you, a health event happens to you, that triggers this coverage to go into force. And this product actually can provide quite a large sum of money to your clients. Basically the maximum payout on this plan can be as high as $6,000 per month for your client. So let me give you a little bit of an idea of how this thing works in terms of plan setup. The first thing that you're doing is you're choosing a set of triggers, if you will. So Plan A is the most comprehensive plan. So you can see there's triggers for cancer, heart attack, and some other conditions, Alzheimer's, kidney failure, coma. So if one of these triggers were to happen to you, then the plan kicks in. So you see, it has nothing to do with, well, I can't do my ADLs, or I've got a cognitive impairment, and that's the sole reason for it kicking in. If anything happens to you under Plan A and you have Plan A, it kicks in. Now, Plan B, you can see, has eliminated the heart triggers. Now, this is a way for somebody who maybe has already recently had a heart attack or issue that you see there, in the middle part of the screen, and they normally wouldn't be able to get coverage. But they could choose Plan B, and if they have Plan B, if something happens to them cancer-wise or some of the other conditions you see at the bottom there, they've got their critical cash coverage kicking in. Plan C, I'm sure you already took a look, you figured it out, and you're like, okay, I see it. They put the heart attack and heart stuff back, and they took out the cancer. So maybe somebody who would not be able to apply for Plan A and get all the triggers because they've recently had a cancer event, but they want something like this, they'd be able to get Plan C. So the idea behind the product is it's a way to get a significant amount of money per month. There's 3 different ways to get coverage. Choosing based upon your own health history, you can hopefully choose a plan that will work well for you. Now, I mentioned earlier the most you can get is $6,000 per month. There's a restoration for the plan with the exception of Alzheimer's or paralysis. And that restoration, when you look at it, just take a look at the lifetime maximum value. It's basically saying whatever you chose in coverage and whatever that will be, let's say $6,000 a month for 24 months, whatever that total is, you get that times 3. So this, you can really get a large amount of money, and you can see the maximum there, $432,000. This is a little bit of an example. So when you set up this plan, you're going to set up a base amount, and that would be, if this trigger happens to me, I'm going to get this base amount. And then you're also going to choose an amount, well, if I end up going into a nursing home, I'm also going to get this amount. And the total of those two, the max can be $6,000. So this example shows somebody who set up a monthly base amount of $1,000 and a $5,000 benefit if they're in a nursing home. And in this example, the client had a stroke. They were able to be at home for 3 months. And then after 3 months that things weren't working out, they had to go into a nursing home. So this is where you might think I did some math wrong, but I actually didn't. You can see it says the first 3 months at home, he's going to get $1,000. But remember the example, it said he was only home for 3 months? It's like, well, why is he getting 18 months of $1,000? Well, because that's how the plan works. So even though this client only was home for 3 months and he had this plan set up to give him a monthly base benefit of $1,000, he's still going to get the full 18-month benefit period that he signed up for. And for those 15 months that he was in the nursing home, he starts getting that $5,000. So Total benefit for this claim is $93,000. And as you can see, just want to give you a quick example of how much this plan can pay out. Now you can download the GTL e-app, just like I mentioned earlier, so that you can quote this and submit the information, submit the application. This is a simplified issue product. Yes, no app. Again, all no's, pretty much good to go. Any yeses, not going to get it. RX check and MIB is done on all applicants. Okay, so we've been at this for a little while now. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, a couple questions on critical cash. First of all, it says here, well, and I guess it's really just, we could answer the one, is it notes for Alzheimer's, but what are the views on other types of dementia, including Lewy body or frontotemporal, or any other type of dementia? Is that
right for the
or
details for that? You have to look at the actual, the outline of coverage on that. Yeah, we'd have to, take a look at that on there. I don't want to get into that detail today.
Perfect. Greg, this is Greg typing in the questions. I will send you that additional information directly regarding your state.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's important too. Cool. All right, so hopefully we're doing okay so far. We're looking like that. We're not looking like this, or we're not looking like that. We're trying to keep things fun here, and especially this could be Katie. I don't know. Katie could be doing this right now. I don't know. But let's keep having some fun, and let's get to the other product today, short-term home health care. So we launched this product back in 2017. It's been an absolute hit. And this is the current state footprint for this plan. You can see we got really creative with the name, short-term home health care. So with the target market for this client, first off, got any clients that are taking prescription drugs? That's pretty much everybody. You guys are probably rolling your eyes. You have somebody who hasn't planned for future care, meaning like long-term care, or you have somebody who now they can't qualify for it or they can't afford it. Another target market for you may be something like, I'm 56 years old. My parents, thankfully, are still around, but neither of them have a long-term care plan. And at 82 and 84 years old, they're probably not going to be able to afford one. So who has to help take care of them in person and probably financially if they need it? Well, it's going to be the kids, which is going to be me and my wife. And my wife travels every week, and I travel about 22 weeks a year. So something definitely needs to change if that situation happens. So we do have a target market of, middle-aged folks that their parents are still around, may want to purchase a short-term home health care plan for their parents. The cool thing about this product, of all the products we have at GTL, this one is the easiest to get. And I'm actually going to show you a consumer video that we have on this plan that works wonders when you show it to clients. And then after that, I'm going to qualify everybody on the call for the plan. And you're probably going to fall off your chair when you find out how easy it is to get. Now, this I'm going to show you is a video that agents use during the meeting. They put on their social media platform. They send an email to the client with the link. Whatever they want to do to get the client interested in the plan or to help get the cross sale started, this video is great.
There's no bed like your own. And if you suffer an illness or have an accident, the last thing you would want to do is recover in an unfamiliar, hectic environment like a hospital or nursing home. Focus on your recovery in the comfort of your own home with short-term home health care insurance from Guaranty Trust Life Insurance Company. Think about your family situation. You may be reaching that age where planning for future care is necessary, or maybe your parents are reminding you they don't want to go to a nursing home. How could being unprepared for either yours or your parents' need for care affect your finances and way of life? GTL's short-term home health care insurance is more affordable than most other plan of care policies, and it pays benefits directly to you regardless of any other insurance you have. Home health care benefits kick in if you suffer a cognitive disability or can't perform 2 of the 6 ADLs, and no hospital stay is required. The base plan consists of 3 main components, and there are 3 different base plans for you to choose from to match the level of coverage you want. With the home health care benefit, your chosen plan pays a benefit for up to 360 payments for a variety of services, including skilled nursing, physical therapy, and general nursing care. With our most comprehensive plan, you can receive up to $162,000 of home health care benefits. With the home health care aid benefit, you can receive a daily benefit for each day you require the services of a home health care aid, depending on your chosen plan, and no hospitalization stay is required. Most likely, you're taking at least 1 prescription medication. With the prescription drug benefit, you can receive benefits for any prescriptions that are filled after the policy is in effect. Just filling your normal prescriptions can help offset the cost of the policy itself. Now let's see how it works. Say you're 65 years old, have the Plan A policy, and take 1 brand name prescription that you refilled 10 times over the year. A GTL short-term home health care insurance policy would pay you a total benefit amount of $250 over those 12 months. With an annual policy premium of $294.45, the net cost of the policy would be less than $4 a month. And this is not even including any home health care benefits you may receive. Policyholders can also have access to Ask Mayo Clinic services 24 hours a day. Receive personalized support and trusted medical guidance for your health-related questions from the experts at Mayo Clinic. Short-term home health care insurance from GTL is flexible and customizable, with a great set of riders for you to choose from. And with only 2 or 3 underwriting questions, you don't have to worry about a long application process or medical exams. So, for a fair premium, wouldn't you rather receive professional care at home? Now is a great time to find out more about GTL's short-term home health care insurance.
All right, fun little video, and now that you've seen it, I just want to mention again, a lot of agents are using this at the appointment or putting on their social media platform, some kind of, maybe on their website, just to promote the product to get information to the clients and maybe get that meeting. All right, so as promised, we're going to qualify everybody on the call for the plan. So the video did say you had 3 plans to choose from, A, B, or C. Our most popular plan is B, followed by A, followed by C. So let's just say we're going to stick with the most popular today, Plan A or B. In order to qualify for that, we need to answer the first 2 underwriting application questions, no. So let's do that. Are you currently in a nursing home, assisted living facility, or receiving home health care or similar type of benefits? All right, I'm going to go with no. And the second one, I'm going to paraphrase it. Do you have any issues doing your ADLs, or are you already cognitively impaired? If you answer that no, you get this product. Now, if you want to get Plan C, you would also need to answer the third question, no. So as you can see, this plan, probably a light bulb's going off right now in your head, and you're thinking, wait a minute, this plan is not asking my client if they've had cancer or a heart attack, stroke, insulin-dependent diabetes, COPD. It's not asking anything about that. Is this it? Well, that is it. So with regard to getting this plan, this one does open itself up to be able to have a lot of people be able to qualify to get the coverage. Now, as the video mentioned, there's 3 plans to choose from, Plan A, Plan B, Plan C. Issue age is exactly the same for all of them, from age 40 to 85. And whichever plan you choose, A, B, or C, you get the prescription drug benefit component, home health care component, and home health care aid component. So all 3 components come with whichever plan you choose. Now, just for the heck of it, I threw these all on the screen for you at once, for one reason alone. Just want to let you know, if you choose Plan A for, say, home health care, you're automatically going to get Plan A for the other 2 components. You cannot mix and match components. So you're going to get all A, all B, or all C. Now, the prescription drug benefit, did you guys happen to catch in the video that we just played that said immediately after your policy is issued, you can start getting your prescription drug benefits? Well, that's the case. So your clients that are already taking prescriptions, they're going to start getting $10 from GTL or $25 from GTL each time they refill a prescription, depending upon whether it's generic or brand name. Depending upon the plan you choose, you can get either $300 per year or up to $600 per year with Plan B or C. Some good things to know about this plan. Again, this is an indemnity-based plan, so we do not care if they have some other plan for prescriptions, whether you use some discount app or if they have Medicare Part D and they go to Walgreens and their copay is $2.50 or nothing. We don't care. We're still going to pay them the 10 or the 25. Something definitely to keep in mind is that for your folks with a 90-day supply, the prescription benefit works every time they get a prescription receipt. So if they're doing a 90-day supply, that's going to be one refill, one receipt, one benefit. It's just something that I always like to point out. Now, I think the video did a really nice job of giving you an example, but here's another one. If you're 65 years old, you got Plan A, and the first 12 months you have your policy, you get up a bunch of prescriptions filled, you're getting either the $10 or $25. In this situation, the client's getting $225 from GTL. The annual premium for Plan A for a 65-year-old was $294.45. Again, that was the annual premium. So how did that first 12 months work out for the client? Well, they paid $294 and change. They got $225 back from GTL. The net cost for them was less than $70 per year. And getting prescription benefits could not be easier. We asked the client to take the prescription receipt that comes stapled to their bag at Walgreens, wherever they pick it up, or in the mail, write their GTL policy number on it, send it to GTL in an envelope. That's it. No claim form to get their prescription drug benefits from GTL. Now, in order for the home health care benefits to kick in, something has to happen to the client after policy issue, and that's going to be the same thing we've already talked about today. Either developing a cognitive impairment or you got a functional impairment where you can't do 2 of your 6 ADLs. Now, when that happens, you might be wondering, well, how long does this coverage last? It lasts for 360 days. And the beautiful thing is 360 days has nothing to do with the calendar year. So if you're getting home health care every day, yeah, you're going to blow through the benefits in 360 days. If you're doing it once a week or twice a week, it's going to take you a lot longer to go through that. Now, there is a restoration benefit on this plan, but it's best described, if you ask me, does this plan restore? It's best described by me saying maybe. And I know that's kind of funny in the insurance business for something to be that gray, but let me just clear it up for you. If you have something that you can recover from, let's say you fell and broke your hip and you needed home health care for 90 days, and then you recovered and your doctor said you don't need home health care anymore. Well, after 180 days of not needing home health care, you get a full restoration. Other side of the equation, you start using this because you have something that you cannot recover from. Maybe it's a cognitive issue, or maybe it's something where you're a little bit older and your health is debilitated to the point where you're not ever going to be able to do all your ADLs again. Well, in that case, you do not have a restoration. So the most you're going to get is 360 days of home health care benefits. But when we take a look at the money, you can see you get a benefit for each type of service that you can get here on the screen. And you can see the maximum for Plan A is $150 per day. So what you'd like to do here, if possible, if you need multiple types of different home health care, let's just say maybe you needed physical therapy and speech therapy, let's get them both done in the same day. That's going to be $150. And if you take $150 times the 360 days of benefits, that's $54,000 of home health care benefits that are available with Plan A. Plan B, you've already checked it out, I'm sure. You can see you get a little bit more money for the same type of therapies. The max you can do daily is $300 per day. You do the math on that, $108,000 is your maximum. Plan C, same deal, up to $450 per day. $450 times 360 days, $162,000 for a maximum payout. You can see, in case we have any Texas agents with us today, Texas is the only state that did not allow our restoration feature to be offered in their state. Okay, so home health care aid, was that you cutting in, Katie, or did I just mishear?
No, I think we're up to date.
Okay, good. Home health care aid benefits. So this is the third component. You're going to need some home health care aid, which I'm just going to generalize as saying this is somebody coming to the house, a home health care aid professional that's going to help with the ADLs. That's usually the case, usually why they're coming. This one is a $40, $80, or $120 benefit per day. No prior hospitalization stays required. How long does this last? Well, this component lasts for 60 days. Again, nothing to do with the calendar year. And same restoration benefits as I just went over on the home health care component. So home health care, 360 days, home health care aid, 60 days. Restoration does happen if you do recover fully and then have 180 consecutive days of not needing home health care. There's your maximums on the screen, $2,400, $4,800, and $7,200 for this component. Now, one thing that's very important to let the clients know is this does have a 6-month pre-ex, and I had a great example happen to me with this plan back in 2017 when we launched it. And I liked it so much, I thought it was great that I figured I'd just turn it into a slide to explain the 6-month pre-ex. I actually had an agent call me, female, and she said that she just signed her husband up for the short-term home health care plan. He is currently being treated for cancer, however, does not need home health care at the current time. How does this product work for him with the 6-month pre-ex? So it's pretty simple. He gets the plan. He's currently being treated for cancer. If he starts to need home health care in the first 6 months of having this product, and he needs the home health care due to his cancer, well, he's not going to be able to use it until the policy hits its 7th month in force. However, if he starts needing home health care due to something unrelated to the cancer, maybe he fell and broke his hip, he can use this right away. So that 6-month pre-existing condition is for clients who start needing home health care. It's hopefully not for a pre-existing condition that they have. But if it is, it's not the end of the world. It's just they have to wait to start using this plan until month 7. And now I think this lends itself to thinking back to the application questions, basically just saying, are you getting home health care, skilled nursing, assisted living facility now? No. Okay, you're halfway home. Do you already have a cognitive impairment or issues with your ADLs? No. Okay, you can get it. So you start thinking about all the other types of injuries or conditions and illnesses that people may have and may be able to qualify for this product, but just make sure to explain the 6-month pre-ex to them so I understand how they need to work with that. Now, rate-wise, this is a totally different situation than the products we spoke about earlier. The short-term home health care plan is the only product GTL has currently in our suite of products where your price will increase as you get older. It doesn't go up every year, but you can see it goes up every 4 or 5 years here. So if I'm 65 and I'm buying Plan A, it's going to cost me $24.54 a month. Now, when I hit age 71 and my policy hits its anniversary date, then my rates are automatically going to go to $32.85 a month. Then when I hit age 76, policy has its anniversary date, we go to $43.48 per month. So that's how the plan works. And I did mention to you that you can get this, plan from 40 to 85 years of age, When you hit 86, there's one last rate increase, and you see it on your screen. So like all GTL products, we can accept bank draft in any mode, monthly, quarterly, semi-annual, or annual. We do offer direct bill, but we never offer monthly direct bill, only quarterly, semi-annual, or annual, and no credit cards on these plans. I know we covered a lot today, and I try to do my best to make sure that we kind of segment the products so that they don't all start blending together in your head. So hopefully we accomplished that today. So, Premier's always been a great partner with GTL. We always like to have you reach out to them if you're interested in getting contracted or have any questions with regard to that. But I do want to let you know we have an incredible sales support staff here. Our crew is not huge, the 5 or 6 of them, but more than half of them have been here over 25 years, and my assistant, she's only been here 18 years. People tend to stay at GTL a long time. It's a great company to work with and for. So they are very knowledgeable with regard to the products, how we handle things here at GTL with regard to underwriting, contracting, anything like that. And you can always speak to an underwriter in seconds if you have some questions, which I would definitely say call sales support, ask to speak to an underwriter if you have a specific question on an applicant or a potential applicant that has, some certain medications or conditions, and you want to see if they'll be able to fit into this product. With regard to our underwriting, just any product that you talk to your clients about and you're reading over the application questions, just read those application questions in black and white. If they can answer no to those, perfect. Don't read into them too much at all. And if you have a question, though, just feel free to contact GTL, speak to an underwriter. We can also call sales support to ask them to send us some supplies, ask them how to use the e-platforms, anything like that. And you also have the ability, once you have your GTL agent code, to start using the e-platforms and to actually go to GTL's website and order some supplies. It's just like going to Amazon, point, click, add them to your cart, and a couple clicks later, we're mailing them out to you. So I wanted to see if we have some questions that we can tackle and take it from there. So what do you got, Katie?
So a couple things. First off is these are questions regarding the short-term home health care. On the application, regarding the application and underwriting, are you doing the underwriting at time of application or is this at time of claim?
So, yeah, the only thing that keeps a person from getting the policy is answering any of those 2 or 3 underwriting questions, application questions, yes. So the answer is we do the underwriting at the time of claim. However, there's not a lot there with regard to that. I mean, what we're looking at with the prescription, obviously they're just sending us the prescription receipt in an envelope. We're not looking at anything there claim-wise. So those prescriptions are, they're taking those prescriptions already, so there's no issue with regard to that. When they go on home health care or home health care claim, basically what we require, we have a very short claim form. If you've sold our hospital indemnity plan or anything like that, our claim forms are pretty short, easy for the clients to fill out. Send that to GTL. And then the first claim, they would also send in the plan of care from the physician and the proof of service. And the following months for home health care or home health care aid claims, we don't need another claim form. We don't need another plan of care. We just need the bill. So yeah, the first time through, that's when they send in the claim form. That's when we look at the situation and take care of the claim. This product does have some additional riders on it that we're not, just for time basis, we're not getting into today. But it's the same thing with the riders. You fill out the claim form, you send us the proof of service. Something that I think is really worthwhile mentioning is who can do these services for the home health care, for the home health care aid. And, each state's a little bit different. But if the person is certified and registered to perform the home health care or the home health care aid services, that's fine. and they also need to work at a facility that can generate a proof of service. So those are the requirements for that. It's not going to be somebody, it's not going to be like my spouse is doing this for me and they're not certified or registered to do that. So it's going to be a professional that's taking care of the home health care aid with the client. Something else I get a lot in terms of question is, well, is it just for home? Yes, the short-term home health care plan is just for receiving care at home. It's not for receiving care at a assisted living facility or some outpatient facility. It's somebody coming into your home. What else you got, Katie?
Another question was, isn't home health care covered under most MA plans?
So again, some plans it is, but again, this is an indemnity plan, and we're going to be paying the client directly. So, it doesn't matter to us if they have coverage already, or if they have partial coverage, or if they have a situation where they may not have a copay for a while, but then they will later. Well, we're going to start paying them their benefits right away so they can take that money and do whatever they like with it. I'm sure whenever you run into a situation where somebody needs home health care, there's going to be additional expenses involved. And, the money from GTL can help take care of those.
Perfect. It looks like we've handled it, Greg. I want to thank you again for putting this on for us. We really appreciate it, and I want to thank everybody out there for joining today. Again, we welcome any questions you may have. I do see some questions on commissions and state availability. I will reach out to you directly on these things, and we can discuss the options for the various plans that may be available in your state. So with that said, I want to thank everyone for joining us. Greg, thank you again. And everyone have a great Wednesday.
Thanks. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Thanks, Katie.
Thanks. Goodbye.